they got perfectly in the middle of them, Baker Mayfield frowning or just looking in like disgust. And I don't know. I just felt it was so douchey. Like it was just, I had douche chills. It was so bad.
You're listening to Let's Talk Fantasy Football, where men of fantasy genius have realized, hey guys, we don't need real football skills to dominate on the fantasy field. Yeah. So slap on your pads and grab your helmet. Shit's about to get real.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to another edition of Let's Talk Fantasy Football. I am your host, Nick Schreck, and joining me tonight is a very sad and very defeated Bengals fan. It's Vinny Gonzalez. Vinny, I'm sorry for today.
It's all good, man. At least it wasn't my birthday.
No, it wasn't, but it was Mr. Andy Dalton's birthday.
It was, yeah. That was severely mishandled in my opinion. I'm sure we'll get to that like right away. So
they fucking blew it, dude. They fucking blew it. Poor old Andy. But Vinny, we're here to talk Week 8 recap, and I think there's really no better way than to jump right into it than with the Andy Dalton news. The Bengals have looked bad, which is no shock. But Andy Dalton gets benched on his birthday. The Bengals are clearly looking towards the future. Where's the future taking us?
I don't know, man. I mean, they're 0-8. Like the season was shot when they were like 0-5, 0-6.
Yep. That
would have been the time you bench Andy Dalton, make a move. Like this one was just, they literally bench him on a bye week, like 2 hours before the trade deadline. Like, what are you doing? But in some way, I like found that I felt like good in a way that Andy Dalton will at least, we owe it to him to be a free agent and like find his own fucking way instead of ditching him on like the Dolphins or something. So in that way, I'm just like, go ahead, Andy, have your fucking free agency run. Go quarterback the Bears or something to make them competent.
Am I hearing it? If you love it, set it free.
For me, it is. Yeah. Like, I love Andy, and it's just so many bad things. Like he's such a victim of circumstance. And this is just like such a scapegoat move. And like, they are really disguising the tank at this point, like incredibly well, more so than the Dolphins, who are just like fake playing people. Like Bengals are just really, really camouflaging this well.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see it coming, and I still don't even believe in the tank. I think this is they really want to win now, and I think that's why they made the move.
They're that fucking bad, but yeah. Ryan Finley comes in, 4th round pick from NC State. It's gonna be a tough spot because like,
yeah,
obviously it's easy to blame Andy Dalton, especially if you're looking at it on the surface, like if you don't follow the Bengals like
sure.
At all. So, and you probably think he's bad just from looking from the outside in anyway. But there's more shit going on there than just poor quarterback play, which has a lot to do with their offensive line play, how bad their defense is, and they're always playing catch up and they're just getting the shit beat out of them. So I feel bad for Finley coming in, but I think it's a decent move to see like what we have in him at least. Pick him out, see what it's like, and then, like you said, let Andy Dalton free.
Yeah, I mean, look, Joe Mixon's been playing well, so he should at least help that offense get along.
Hey, you played well in London, for what it's worth.
Well in London is a relative statement, but we'll go with well in London.
Sure.
His best game,
his best outing all year.
We'll call it that. We'll run with that one for good. Then we had rumors swirling today, guys. We're recording on Tuesday of Le'Veon Bell being possibly on the trade block coming out of New York. Obviously, nothing came of that, and I think that really just comes to support what you kind of put here in our notes. Massive trade rumors and zero bang when it came to fantasy football. We heard lots and lots of shit, and really it was just a dud.
Yeah, not a whole lot happened. A lot of bullshit flying around for like the entire day.
Yep.
Really only one significant trade got done. 2, actually. Keep Talib heads over to the Dolphins. Complete like fuckery on that part. Like they just had to get rid of him for Ramsey to make room for the contract.
Yeah, it's all about the money.
Yeah. So rough spot for Talib. Rams just like they just had to get rid of him. Now I feel like they're in the same spot if they just had Talib. Like he's a pretty good lockdown corner. I mean, obviously older, but
yeah. But like you said, at this point, they got to do what they got to do because they are going to owe big money all over the place. So they've got to make it work, I guess. But man, just getting traded to the Dolphins is just like talk about a fucking slap in the face.
I know.
It's
a tough spot.
Hey man, well you can go 0-16, so that's there's that.
There is that.
There is that.
And then the other really big trade was just Leonard Williams to the Giants.
Yeah. Bit surprising on that one, I thought, for me. But like you said, really nothing fantasy relevant. It was more just NFL news. And I think the Le'Veon Bell thing is just – I think it was nonsense, right? I mean, nobody wanted Le'Veon Bell in free agency. From what we understand, it was the Jets who got him. And – we hear that Adam Gase didn't want to sign Bell, whatever. Maybe he was just trying to do something here to get rid of him. But they signed him to a bunch of money. Like, he's not going anywhere. Like, they couldn't trade him here, short of him having, a fucking incredible breakout that they could offload him next year. He's going to be a Jet. I don't see that changing anytime soon.
Yeah, he's locked and loaded. And, that's not the worst thing. They signed him to a big contract. It sucks to do that for running backs from a business perspective. But, totally. Le'Veon Bell is a good dude. Obviously saying great shit about Sam Darnold. Seems like a real team player, is fully invested in the Jets. Keeping that guy is, great for that team. Great for an organization that seems to be doing everything to not want to win. Le'Veon Bell wants to win.
He wants to win 100%. And you're in a spot where, paying that big money sucks to a running back, right? But you have a QB who's on a rookie contract who you're not paying a ton of money. It's not like he's been a superstar, but he seems competent enough, minus seeing ghosts and some other things. But he's had his moments where he could be viable for the New York Jets. So they're not paying him a shit ton of money still to figure out what do we have relative to spending the money at running back. So, they can sustain that at least for now. They got to figure out some other shit, but, definitely worse things. I do want to bring up the Redskins really quick. I believe it was you, and I quote, "If the Redskins don't trade Trent Williams to the Bengals, I'll sit on a knife." So is that going to happen live on the podcast, or is that a private show?
I'll just do that in my spare time for fun. But I just the Redskins are so goddamn scummy. Dude, Dan Schneider is human dirt. Ugh, it's just a fucking human dirt didn't make sense, but he's a scumbag.
He's the scumbag.
And then they win in this Trent. Fuck. Oh shit! What is his last name? God damn it.
Trent Williams?
Yes, Trent Williams. Oh my God, that's totally escaped me for a second.
Brain fart.
I'm so angry at the Skins.
I'm in a blackout rage.
Just trade him for a first round pick. People are offering it to you. Take it, and then it's just now he's coming back. They ultimately played him.
I'm trying to find the quote because I saw it on RotoWorld here. They were saying that they believe now that they will get more for him this offseason. As that's the best opportunity. This is as a 7:32 p.m. Eastern time coming from RotoWorld. Ian Rappaport, I guess, had tweeted it out. He said, according to NBC Sports, JP Finlay reported earlier that Williams has no intention of playing this season despite reporting to team facilities this afternoon.
Oh, you go, Trent. That's awesome.
So,
all right, I retract everything I said. Fuck the Redskins still, but Trent Williams is the man.
Yeah, still, I agree. Still fuck the Redskins, but based on that, at least the most recent stuff we have, it sounds like he still wants to stick it to the Redskins. He's fucking pissed. Understandably so. They're finally, he's like, oh, the trade talks. Holy shit, I may actually get out of here. And then they're like, yeah, we're just going to hold on to you, be a douche. All right. We'll fucking see you later, dude.
Yeah. They basically let everybody know he's on the block and then just left the phone off the hook.
Sorry, guys. We were waiting for the calls. You couldn't get through, I guess. I don't know. It's fucking weird. Classic Dan Snyder didn't pay the fucking phone bill. Drew Lock cleared Vinny to play for the Denver Broncos. He obviously had the thumb injury. Flacco not on IR, but it's a potential option, I think, with that herniated disc in his back. Locke is going to be the backup here, at least going into Sunday so far. I know they want to get him into some more reps and in practice and everything else and see kind of what they have. But definitely good news with Joe Flacco being kind of out indefinitely at this point.
I guess so. I mean, I think Flacco kind of impressed me so far. The play calling's been horrendous, and they're obviously doing the worst half-assed tank job I've ever seen with Elway. Just being incompetent enough to lose the games for everybody, but
not embarrassing.
Not fully embracing being complete dog shit. They won 2 games and they're way out of the race against the Bengals and the Dolphins. So they're just they're more of a mess than the Dolphins and Bengals because they're not fully selling out. They're just
Correct.
leaving little pieces and cracks and shit, and they're just totally out of sorts.
They're just like, oh, there's a chance, guys. Like maybe like the Bengals are just like, yeah, we fucking give zero fucks, and the Dolphins are like, do we even have to show up to the rest of the games this season? Because we'd rather just not.
Yeah, Bengals are just bad, and then the Dolphins are just everybody knows, and then you have the Broncos who gave it their best shot.
I guess that's the best way to put it. They gave it their best, the good old college try. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, look, I'm not hating on Flacco by saying it's a good thing that Locke got cleared. It's more just the fact that Flacco's out indefinitely, right, with the back thing. So at least getting Locke back is a win versus having to go fucking just sign somebody else and whatever. At least they drafted him. They might as well give him an opportunity and see what they may have in him at this point. It's really the only bonus because, like you said, they're not going anywhere, anybody. It's a half-assed tank job. Just more for the future, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
I guess let's jump into the injuries, Vinny. We had quite a few. We had some frustrating guys in here as well, and we'll get to that, namely Cardinals running back. The Rams, dude. Brandon Cooks, another concussion 2 weeks in a row. One, it's bad for him. I mean, the hits just kind of keep coming. And two, for fantasy players, from the Rams wide receiver perspective, fucking sucks.
Yeah, not great, man. Feel bad for Brandon Cooks. He's always getting rocked. And it's like freak plays. Like, they're not exactly hospital passes, like from Goff by any means. And it's just like bad luck and hitting the head, dude. It's rough. But I wouldn't be surprised if this was like a Shepard situation from the Giants. Like, he's going to be held out for a little bit.
Yeah.
They do have a bye week to chill on right now for week 8, but I don't know. I don't really see him returning to action when they come back.
No, I think he needs to take some time and get right and figure some things out. And quite frankly, I don't think it matters from a fantasy football perspective, right? Obviously, we wish him well on the personal side. You know, we don't want to see anybody struggling long term with the concussion effects. But for fantasy, I think Cooper Kupp is really the only quote unquote wide receiver to care about there, right? He's got 220 yards and a score. You know, he had obviously the quiet weeks, but Brandon Cooks has a concussion. Robert Woods caught a pair of passes for 36 yards. Like, you know, Josh Reynolds, they get 73 yards and a score. I mean, you know, Cook was out, whatever. But from a wide receiver perspective, I almost don't even know about the Cook's concussion matters. I think it's really just Cooper Kupp that we care about here.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as if his target share could get any bigger. Like, he'll just get pelted with more. So there's that. And then, you know, you alluded to like Josh Reynolds and the Robert Woods situation. I don't know what the hell exactly happened. Like, you feel like Robert Woods would be the main benefactor.
Should be.
But yeah, exactly. But I don't know. Remains to be seen. We'll see how this plays out without him. I mean, Bengals were just not covering Cooper Kupp, and then they didn't cover Josh Reynolds. So.
Yeah, I mean, again, it could just, like you said, could just been the matchup and the opportunity. I mean, and we got 2 weeks, right? They obviously they go into the bye, so we got to wait and see anyway based on health and how it rolls back out. But for now, Cooper Kupp's the only one I really have interest in. You're going to get Cook back. Well, Josh Reynolds, is he just a flash in the pan? I don't really fucking know. But definitely something to watch. Not great for Brandon Cooks and his health, but for fantasy football, I think it can help ease that transition away from him if you were still rolling him. Because we have gotten quite a few questions on Brandon Cooks in tough spots. Been J.J. Watt tears his titty.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Torn titty. It's tough. I feel bad for J.J. Watt.
I do too.
But I don't know. He was like, we were just talking about how Brandon Cooks is kind of sad to say it, but you know, he wasn't doing well anyway. Like, J.J. Watt was having a bad season too.
Yeah.
They're going to miss him because their defense is just fucking getting beat up.
Yeah, they need some help, which is frustrating, right? Because we're gonna talk about it, some cool shit with you know, Deshaun Watson and what he's doing there on that offense. But it'd be nice to get a little help on the defensive side for the Texans a little bit. But
very much so.
It's that's the way the fucking cookie crumbles. Miles Sanders finds the end zone, gets a touchdown in, and then he leaves banged up with a shoulder injury. I feel like the Philadelphia backfield just fucking sucks.
I mean, not anymore. Now you can definitely just play Jordan Howard.
It did suck.
I guess a little bit. I don't know. It's been more bountiful than I would have thought. Like, Jordan Howard's been pretty dependable. Miles Sanders randomly pops up, you know, if they use him as a receiver. Broke that huge run, almost hit like 22 miles an hour.
Incredible.
Like a psychopath. So This kind of sucks. He could still play. There's a lot of shoulder injuries to running backs, like who just had Josh Jacobs and who picked up Connor, just picked one up too. So it's something that they could probably play through, get that good old, as John Gruden put, just shot up in the locker room. So it's something you can come back from and probably play this weekend. So he's an upside flex play still, Miles Sanders. And then, I'm pretty sure you're rolling Jordan Howard.
I just hate Jordan Howard from a personal side.
I forgot about that.
That's all. That's all that is. It's my personal bias shining through. So I apologize to you guys, but he's fine. I just personally hate him. He's only wronged me once or twice. Sam Darnold, just when you think the guy gets healthy from going out and getting a first kiss, he fucks up his thumb. Pain tolerance is what they're calling it at this point. It's a sprain. They believe he's going to play through his injury. For fantasy, I don't know that it really makes much of a difference, but that's Sam Darnold's update.
Of course it makes a difference, Schreck. They got the easiest schedule coming up, man.
He's going to play. That's why I don't think it matters. He's got the sprained thumb, but
you're right.
If they expect him to play, it's
what it is. Yeah,
if he's out, then yes, we're having a different conversation, which is the hope for Le'Veon Bell maybe gets a little bit back on track, some Robbie Anderson.
Yeah.
So hopefully some fantasy goodness to come. Don't worry. I was listening in when you and Walsh were talking about your buy lows and the good schedules with the Jets and some Lev Bell and all this other stuff. So again, with Darnold going to go, I think that is what it is. We talked about Joe Flacco and the herniated disc. That is what it is. This one is I got to think double frustrating for you because last week you talked about fuck the Cardinals social media, dude. Right. So
yeah, it just wasn't cool.
Well, no, but so right, it was dick move this week. David Johnson's out, and then Edmonds he ends up getting hurt, but he doesn't do anything either.
Yeah, so a lot of people probably played him, and everything indicated that you should play him.
100%,
like volume-based play. Not a great matchup.
Yep.
They put him in for what it was, and then it just kind of didn't. So I'm not mad about this week. Like that's fine, not a big deal.
It's fair. The logic was there. Just and I actually think that's a good it's a good point, Vin, because we took some flack on Instagram. We got some feedback today, we'll call it, for some people who were fired up about the fact that some of our recommendations to questions we put in our live stories didn't work out. And
I didn't hear this. What do we got?
Well, it was like we got a couple laughing faces, you're fucking stupid. Yeah,
that's totally right.
They're not wrong, but call us out at 1 p.m. when the games start. Don't call me out on fucking Tuesday when the games are over. You're right. We fucking blew it. We're happy to admit it, but don't act all fucking high and mighty, guys, unless you want to make the call that we're stupid from the get-go.
Yeah, it's
easy to Monday morning quarterback.
Oh, of course, but it is what it is. It's like we make choices based on best possible play. It's
Absolutely.
Not like if you don't give us your full team, we don't know what your full team looks like. We don't know what your options are. If you don't give us your full options, we don't necessarily know.
Correct.
And then, we make our observation based on like opportunity and what the hell we expect. And like all things, if it was Chase Edmonds related, like that was a freak thing. Injuries happen.
Yeah.
I'm sure we mentioned it was a bad matchup. It's a bad matchup. And then all things said and done, if you want to make your own decisions, do it. Don't blame us when it doesn't work.
We're happy to answer the questions, guys, but ultimately your team, and we're happy to take the flack. But the Monday morning quarterbacking is.
Oh yeah, dude. I was gonna say but I'll just take my own personal stand. I'm fucking wrong about a lot of shit.
I blow a ton of calls.
Yeah, no one's 100%, so that's pretty funny.
That's the nature of the beast, guys, and we're happy to take flack for it. But don't act like your shit don't stink, because you're no better than any of us. Jaguars receivers, Vinny, they go down. Marquise Lee, D.D. Westbrook both get hurt in this game. Obviously sucks to see. I actually don't even know. Do you have any update on their progress so far this week?
So Marquise Lee is on IR. I believe he is done for the season. Okay. D.D. Westbrook, he's been banged up for like a couple of weeks, but he's been active, and they throw him in and then kind of take him out halfway through the game. So I think you monitor D.D. Westbrook.
Yeah.
But like right now, DJ Chark's fucking stock is rising like crazy, and then Chris Conley should be picked up in like pretty much every league.
Yep, 100%. It was actually I was working Sunday, and when I watched Chris Conley do his thing,
If I recall, you guys talk shit about Chris Conley.
Yes, we did. And that's
if
where
I could send you a crying, laughing face, I would, Schreck. You should know better.
I know I should know better, dude. I fucking blew it. And that's literally exactly what I thought because I watched it happen, and I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, that was a cool play too.
It was a cool play. So I mean, it was the bittersweet. Like, I like Minshew, I like the Jaguars, I like seeing it happen, but I'm like, God, like it couldn't have gone to any of the other guys. Like Chris Conley, I had to be like, let's don't fucking do it, and he's the one that gets in the end zone on that play. But that is the nature of the beast. But don't think we forget about our calls, guys, after we make them on the podcast and everything else. Some of them stick with us, particularly when they are thrown in our face.
Basically, I use the apology tour and just like shaming myself because I make horrible calls in the preview. Walsh always throwing out all these stats, and I'm like, yeah, but I don't think that's true. And then just plays out a totally different way, or the way Walsh said. So
yeah, I mean, hey, that's again, that's the beauty of what we do, man. We're like weathermen. We're right about 10% of the time.
Just thinking that.
But Matt Breida, he remained sidelined Tuesday, and with the ankle injury, we're going to talk about him. Jeff Wilson also hurt in the Thursday night preview, so I'm going to leave them for later on. But both banged up. James Conner with the AC joint. They say he should be fine, but is he really? We're kind of in this like, well, if Samuels is available, you need to pick him up ASAP.
Yes.
But I don't know if Connor's actually going to go.
Yeah, I also think this is one that could because right now he's listed as a game time decision. It's Tuesday already, So that's not great.
No, bad start.
I can't imagine he practice. It's probably going to be Thursday or Friday.
Nope. And they said he doesn't need a full week of practice to play. So that's like the worst possible thing you want to hear when a guy's already a game time decision on Tuesday.
Exactly. And I feel like this could be a situation where if Samuels is like fully ready to go, which Tomlin did say today he is this a situation where Connor is like emergency back and he's active and you play him and then Samuel gets like the bulk? Because I feel like that can happen.
Yeah. I mean, look, let's call it what it is, right? Like the Steelers they're not fucking winning a Super Bowl this year. So, why was James Conner still, carrying the ball in a play here where I didn't think it was necessary. He got hurt on. But two, they don't need him. Like, get him healthy. It was kind of the same mindset I had on Alvin Kamara. Like, take the bye. Drew Brees, it worked out, right? I thought he still should have fucking skipped the week, gone into the bye, and come back the following week. But whatever, it is what it is. I think not playing a bye in here, but they should move a little more cautiously with him. And I agree, if he's active, maybe he's the emergency, God forbid, kind of back.
Yeah, and I thought the bye week would let James Conner really get healthy. And, like, he's been banged up more often than not. Like, he's always exiting the game, coming back in. Obviously a tough dude, but, like, at some point, he's just got to rest up and get fully healthy because he's a workhorse back when they use him.
Correct.
So when they can't use you like that, you're kind of hurting the team, and you got to get healthy and and whatnot. I mean, they don't have the greatest backfield depth right now. It's just like, and also Benny Snell got hurt, so they're really thin.
Yes,
it's a unique situation here. So I feel like he feels like he needs to be out there when he should just rest up.
Yeah, I agree. They should rest up. Whether they do,
it remains to be seen.
Yes, definitely remains to be seen. I think as you were describing Connor there, though, with like coming off the field injured on, you're kind of like, as a Connor owner, you're like, fuck. Made me think back to when Saquon originally got hurt, came back into the game, on our group chat about that, because I know Walsh, being a Barkley owner, was like, fuck. And it was like, oh, no, he's good. And then he was back in, and then it was like, no, he's hurt again. And you're like, fuck. Like, and then obviously it ended up being more serious, the second time. But I feel like it's that same panic. Like, we're just like, holy shit, this could blow up. No, it's fine. Nope, this is the real deal. And that's pretty much what it's been.
Every carry this guy takes now could be, setting him back instead of, just, taking a game off or two.
Yep. Get healthy. Again, it's you're not staring down the playoffs where you need to win every game, and it's not their year. So you lost Big Ben and you had all the other shit going on. Fucking get healthy. Keep it for the long term. Running back lifespan doesn't last that long anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So that's I think that's it, though, on the injury side of the ball. Do you have anything else, Vin?
No, I think we covered that in the news. Yeah, I think that's it.
Cool. So, guys, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back. We're going to talk some cool shit, some weak shit, some Thursday night football. We'll be right back with you.
Have you thought about trying sports betting but aren't sure how it'll go? Our friends at FanDuel are giving away a $50 sign-up bonus at letstalkfantasyfootball.com/FanDuel-sportsbook.
All right, guys, and we are back. Ben, let's kick it off right into some cool shit. And I think I put this at the top of the list while you were off air before because it's been some pretty cool shit for you. The New England Patriots defense has been absolutely fucking electric. I'm looking for the stat I had because it's actually pretty fucking incredible. And I don't know now what I did with it, so I feel like an idiot. Oh, no, here it is. Through 8 weeks, the New England Patriots defense has scored 173 fantasy points in PPR leagues that would rank 4th among quarterbacks, 3rd among running backs, 2nd among wide receivers, and 1st among tight ends. That's 71 fantasy points more than the next closest defense. Holy shit.
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, they're good. Can I say that? Can I say that they're good?
Yeah.
I don't want to say anything like controversial, but they're pretty good. It's funny because I own them in a decent amount of leagues, which is funny. I think I picked them up week 2, like every single league. And every week I'm just like, all right, this can't keep up. This cannot possibly keep up. Every single week it has kept up. And it's really kept my horrible teams afloat. And it just, I don't know, it makes me feel more cocky than I should because I know it's going to stop at some point. They're also playing like they've reached the point where they're done, fucking around with the lower half teams. So
yep.
Their first real test is up this Sunday night against the Ravens. So I'm very interested to see how they perform there.
Yeah, if they continue rolling. Right now, dude, I picture you on Sundays when like it's a fumble recovery or touchdown or whatever, and I just like picture you on your couch, like 15 bets deep, and you're just like, a bunch of drinks in, and you're just mumbling to yourself, and you're just like, I fucking did it again. Patriots, baby.
Yeah, I'm the greatest, dude. I'm the greatest.
See, there it is. I knew it. I knew that's exactly how that was going to go. But yeah, man, for those with the Patriots defense, congrats because it's been a season to remember. Like you said, I'm sure carrying people through wins end the season when the rest of their team has just been injured, not good, whatever the case may be. You're winning games on the Patriots alone.
Yeah, it is. It has been absolutely crazy. They definitely are. They're like buoying my team up to be somewhat competent, which is crazy. But actually, let me ask you, what do you think like their trade value is? I think if you're in a league where people don't necessarily pay attention to like their upcoming schedule where, they're not going to be putting up 30 fucking points because they're not playing the Dolphins or Jets every week, you could probably flip them for someone usable. Yeah,
I think you could definitely. I mean, and I think that's where you use some of these stats, right? Where like what we just threw out there with their production. I mean, you're talking about 71 fantasy points more than any other defense, 4th among QB, like 2nd among wide receivers. Like, again, no one's going to give you a fucking number 1 wide receiver for him, but this is an opportunity where, like, again, the less educated folk will say, are going to look at it. And like you said, they're not going to look at the schedule and be like, well, they can't repeat it. You're going to be like, look, that's what I've been saying for weeks. Yeah. I think it's all in the sales pitch. I think it's all in the, look what they've done. I've been saying they can't repeat. They continue to do it. Look at the points. They're fucking there. They're winning me games. I need help elsewhere. I'm willing to sacrifice. And I think you sell it as you're willing to take a hit because you need a running back or a wide receiver. I'm trying to think of what that tier would be, though.
I mean, like, I'm not like, I would say don't get greedy. Like, really don't. Like, you could probably flip them very easily if you target like someone with a good schedule, like a Robbie Anderson, a John Brown.
Yep, I like that.
Something like that along those, like maybe a Royce Freeman for running back. I'm trying to think of other examples. Yeah. Like a lower end tight end kind of guy you could flip.
Yeah, I mean, tight end's been such a crapshoot. I think you can, you could get some value for that, depending on what your current situation looks like.
Yeah, I think so. That's just my advice. If you're going to flip the Patriots defense, remember they're a fucking defense and you're lucky to be getting a player back in return at all. And it's also like you can stream defense. And if you're like we just said that it is keeping up, but like this can't possibly keep up, especially with the Patriots schedule. Like if you want to keep them like I'm going to, and just, they're a good defense and Bill Belichick can out scheme anybody, by all means, keep it rolling. Like there's no reason not to. But if you want to flip them, you have a huge hole in your running back spot, wide receiver 2-3 spot, you can flip them.
Yep, 100%. If you want the value, if you need the help elsewhere, go for it. But again, you're going to come back to earth, and dude, you're still happy getting 10 points a week from your defense.
Exactly.
So I think that's going to be closer to the the average as they kind of come back down. But you're still going to be fine. It's just not going to be these fucking 25, 30, 20-point weeks that you've become accustomed to out of your fantasy defense, which is just fucking incredible.
Wild.
Absolutely wild. But yeah, I think that's a good price. Robbie Anderson, especially with a good schedule. Nice, nice little shout out there. I do like that a lot. It's nice to see some draft picks coming together, right? Joe Mixon obviously is one that has not worked out at the top of the draft. And I was actually thinking about this the other day. We should put together a podcast where we kind of pick out a few guys from each of the top rounds and just talk through, where things went wrong or where they haven't, because, Mixon, big miss. Dalvin Cook been a big win for people that got him, or at least in our league where he was drafted. So I think it could be interesting to dive a little deeper. But Mike Evans finally, I should say, he's really had two huge, incredible performances, right? The rest he's been good. He's been at 0. But it's nice to see some of these top guys finally give you a return on what you spent on them.
Oh, big time, dude. And this is a cool return to normalcy for a lot of like the last couple of weeks we've been having, where a lot of backup dudes have been catching touchdowns, or just the top guys laying duds. Like Kupp goes the fuck off. Evans goes the fuck off. Hopkins still getting it done without touchdowns. Same thing for Julio.
Yep. Edelman's a surefire wide receiver 1, dude. The guy's fucking locked and loaded. Dude,
Edelman caught 2 touchdowns. He was instantly like top 5. Like that is exactly what you want out of like a surprise. Like, oh yeah, Edelman can catch touchdowns. Like that was very good for Edelman owners. And then we had like Michael Thomas like shredding Patrick Peterson.
Ooh, crazy.
Good shit. Just good shit from the top guys.
Yeah. Yep. It almost feels like a vindication, right? Because like I'm a Hopkins owner in a couple of places, and
Same.
it's just been a fucking drag where you're just like, God damn, like I can't take him out of my lineup. But before that, this past week and the week before with the scores, you're like, man, like you're so frustrating to fucking own because I have to leave you in, but you're giving me fucking 8 points, 7.5, 9, and you're like, I can't live off of this. And then finally he's getting in the end zone and things are coming back. So it almost feels like a vindication of like, all right, I didn't totally fucking blow it when I drafted you in the first round. Yeah,
agreed, man. And it's, a lot of these guys, if they don't have top, 5 weeks, they're still doing top 10, top 15.
Correct.
Which we still wind up complaining about, but it's cool to see them, finishing top 5. It's good shit.
Yeah. I mean, again, we're greedy bastards. It's okay. We can admit what we are, but if it's not top 5 dead or alive we're not fucking interested.
That's true. We're not in the business of losers.
No, we're not. We're here to win championships, guys. And unfortunately, or fortunately, only one of us can walk away a victor. But then David Montgomery finally comes out after I continue to complain about him last week about the trust and needing to see some more. So it sounds like he is definitely a listener of the podcast, and I've motivated him to get his shit together.
Yeah, definitely. And then you still didn't play him. So that was a good move on your part.
Yeah, well, yeah. I still won. For the rest.
Fair enough. Putting up 98 points is always good.
I'm
sorry.
That's fucked up, dude.
First place, bitch.
How's third taste?
Not good. Enough about our weird league. I don't know, Schreck. What are you like looking forward to with David Montgomery? Because I feel like this is a huge Matt Nagy. Like I could run the ball. Who knows what the hell the future holds for this? Because I don't know. He's a bad coach, bad play caller, and I don't know when you would feel comfortable playing like David Montgomery.
I mean, probably not next week against the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, I look at his stats, right, and this comes half point PPR on NFL.com. So he had 0.9 against the Saints the week prior. He had 10 against Oakland, 8.2 against Minnesota. Good defense. 9.6 against the Redskins, who we talked about before, who suck. Like they're really, it was a great breakout game for him, but I don't think that you can just, he had 27 attempts. The next closest he had was in week 4 with 21. There's still no consistency, right? Like, he did it here, and I don't expect him to shine against Philadelphia. Maybe Detroit in week 10. You get Detroit again in week 13. You get Green Bay week 15 and Kansas City week 16. You get the Vikings week 17, which sucks. Again, we'll have some more clarity as you get deeper down the schedule. Does he get consistent? I don't know. I think he stays right where he stayed in my lineup on my bench. It depends on your options, but he's shown he can do it. There's no consistency unless this is the beginning of it, but he's not going in my lineup against the Eagles this week.
I agree with you, man. That was very admirable of you, man.
It's, I would love, look, I played him in another league because I had to, and it worked out, but I didn't feel good about it. And, it sucks to say after a guy does that, but you can't get married to what they did last week.
Yeah. If you miss the week, it's okay sometimes. But it is what it is. And you can't trust Matt Nagy as far as you can roll him. And it's just not a good situation for Montgomery. When, you look at his upcoming schedule, it's like a rough ass matchup. And then just like fucking every division game you can list.
Yep.
And Matt Nagy's going to fuck it up somehow.
Of course he is, because what else have the Bears not fucked up this year?
Yeah.
Sad situation all around. But not sad then. Aaron Rodgers is back, baby. He's fucking back. He did it again.
Yep, he's back. He looks great. It's good to see. I'm enjoying watching Aaron Rodgers play, because there were a couple weeks where I was just like, I don't really know what the fuck he was doing. I don't know if that was play calling, getting used to Matt LaFleur. Maybe it's all kind of shaking. They're using Aaron Jones right.
Well, I think that's such a huge thing, right? Where like Aaron Jones is finally kind of, we were worried about Williams but he's finally kind of like, I don't want to say they've committed, right? Because the Packers would never shock me if they decided to go away from him, but I don't think they will. I think they finally accepted Aaron Jones for who he is.
So the usage is really what was going on there. Like, they're getting Aaron Jones involved in the passing game. Jamal Williams, outside of that free catch, which was definitely Aaron Rodgers not throwing to him.
No.
That crazy, pylon catch. Outside of that, like, Jamal Williams is not catching some passes. So Aaron Jones, like, maybe there's still like that, 50-50 split, but he is way more talented. And I'm finally coming around to that. Like, it doesn't matter if they're splitting the work. Aaron Jones' talent will shine through. And it's been rocking the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, man. And again, as long as the overall touches stay where they are, fucking golden. And he'll be just fine. I'm just looking at the upcoming schedule. They got the Chargers here this week, Carolina, and then the bye. San Francisco after the bye, which kind of sucks, but they'll be okay.
Yeah, they will.
They'll be A-okay. Deshaun Watson. I think that you could say a lot about this guy. He's fucking great. I think the touchdown pass with one eye was the highlight for me out of this week's game.
Oh, was that the highlight for you, Schreck?
Yeah,
the play of the year.
just for me.
It was quite marvelous. Me and Laura watching that game like come down to the end, and I was just like, I don't think he should throw this ball. And like when it was happening, and then
you're cringing in your seat. You're just like, fuck. And then you're like, holy shit.
I mean, it was a perfectly placed ball in the only, like, props to Darren Fells too. That was a great catch. Like, that was in traffic right above the defender, still catching it. And like, I just could not believe he threw that ball, made that play. Absolutely incredible. And like was lights out the entire game. And I kind of feel bad for him because I feel like we're seeing – this is the negative side of this, but this dude is going to have to win every single game for the Texans on his own because they are selling out their entire defense. They are not healthy. They are not good. And it's kind of like watching Andrew Luck 2.0. Like, this dude is going to waste the prime of his career getting jacked up like every single play, being asked to do way too much. Offense is high-powered. So what? Yep. That only lasts for so long.
Yeah.
But right now – in the present for fantasy, this is great because he's going to have to play catch up and have to, just know that they're going to get scored and they have to put up points. So Watson, the entire offense, Hopkins, Darren Fells, Kenny Stills, better days ahead. Sure. They still have pieces and they're doing enough on offense where they're all valuable.
Yep.
And they're going to have to be in, positive game scripts for, the rest of the year.
Correct. Yep. And like you said, Watson is literally going to keep putting the team on his back until he physically can't anymore. What a fucking talent, man. He is fun to watch.
Yeah, I love watching him. He is great.
I'll tell you what, football, when we look at it in sections like this, right, when we look at cool shit and some of this stuff, football has been pretty good to us lately. We've seen some cool shit.
I think I have to agree. It's been a fun year with like all the injuries and shit, like to major quarterbacks and like running backs. And it has been a very competitive, close year, I feel like. You don't know, it's pretty much always the NFL's case. Like, you don't know who's going to win this game.
Of course.
Always crazy shit. But the way that they've been able to stumble and keep going.
Yep.
Despite all the injuries to major stars that we've been accustomed to for the last couple of years, feels like a real turning the next century, I guess.
Yeah. Well,
incredibly hacky. They're winding down with like year 100. So it's like the turn of, it's like handing off to the next generation.
Beautiful event. I don't think I could have put it any other way, man.
Thanks, man.
That was not a paid sponsorship from NFL, but if they do want to sponsor us, we're welcome to have a conversation about that. If you want to use the tagline, you can contact Vinny Gonzalez about that one. Been great work, though. What about Stafford, Kirk? We've seen kind of a bounce back, if you will, a fantasy rebirth. Kirk back on the field is making it happen. I don't have his numbers in front of me, but I think it was 98 yards last week?
Kirk Cousins?
Oh, I was thinking about Christian Kirk, but go ahead.
Oh, my bad, dude. Yeah, I put Stafford, Matt Stafford, if you were confused about that one.
No, I wasn't, but
Matt Stafford, Kirk Cousins, dude. They're almost playing at like MVP levels, and it's been wild to say the least. Like, if you pick these guys up as streamers, like, you've been able to play them in the last couple of weeks, and they have been absolutely dominating, and they were pretty much dog shit for the first 3 weeks.
Yeah, I was especially Kirk. I was super out on Kirk. I took a Kirk Cousins. Now that we've cleared that air, I was referring to Christian Kirk, but Kirk Cousins. I was just like, I remember the questions coming in, and I'm like, no, fucking cut that dude. Like, not interested.
Mm-hmm.
Just move on. They're gonna run the fuck out of the ball with Dalvin Cook, and it is what it is, and just call it. And he's done a complete 180.
Yeah, they look great, and I think if you're streaming them, I think you just rock them the rest of the season. I mean, I would probably be more worried about Kirk Cousins because they could return to, later season games where you're trying to run the ball a little more, especially if they're playing outside. Not necessarily, when they're home, in the dome, whatever. But I feel like that one has less of a chance or more of a chance to fuck up than Stafford, who has just been like chucking the ball downfield. They do not have a running game, so I'm way more in on Stafford than Cousins.
Yes.
For him to keep up, but I think that's pretty much where that's at.
Dude, the Lions' running game is a fucking disaster, and we'll touch on that in a second. But that's definitely a bigger reason to throw that weight behind Stafford for sure. Tevin Coleman, dude, also once he's come back from the injury, has just been fucking. I mean, lights out. I guess isn't really fair to say, but fucking crushing the end zone with touchdowns. I'm looking at his
stats were concerning. Because he's only, what do you get? I think 13 total touches, ran the ball 11 times.
Yeah, 13 touches, scored 35.8 fantasy points. He has the most fantasy points by a running back on fewer than 15 touches in 40 years per Pro Football Focus.
Dude, and I have been pounding the drum all year. Sell your 49ers. They do not have a big enough share in the offense. Like, they're getting lucky now, and yes, they are good. But it's going to be something that's going to fuck you eventually. I've been wrong so far, but I really think this is something that is going to fuck a lot of people over. Like, I mean, the injuries really helped Tevin Coleman, obviously, because he's going to get more of a lion's share now. So I guess I should probably shut up. But still, look at the way Kyle Shanahan uses these guys. He uses them to win, not to help us in fantasy, which is great for the 49ers, great for Kyle Shanahan. But I'm still going to call him a dick every week because we need points.
Oh, he is a dick. But, dude, just keep –
Great fucking coach.
Keep fucking doubling down, dude. At some point.
I love and hate Kyle Shanahan.
It's love my fucking it's my Frank Gore, dude. Just keep doubling down. Eventually, it has to come your way.
Like, think about it. If you said to someone right now, "Do you want Tevin Coleman?" They're about to play the Cardinals. Like, what could you get in return for that? That would be massive.
Tevin Coleman right now, based on his production, he's a running back one. No question.
And he still would be going forward just because they run the ball so much. They scheme for it as well.
Of course.
So I'm not trying to take away from them. I'm just saying capitalize on, draft value, not draft value, trade value.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm not being a dick by saying he's, by my statement, if he's a running back one, like I agree. Like I think you could turn him into a more, or maybe package a little bit together to get a more surefire running back one, right? Like you give up him and something else to get, like you can get a more consistent, dependable, especially with Vinny's doomsday scenario coming here for Tevin Coleman, kind of thing. But yeah, as a running back one, you can get equal value to him, which in someone else's eyes is a win for Tevin Coleman, but you really know what's to come.
Mm-hmm. And like right now, my points are pretty much null and void with all the injuries that they've had to the running back position, but something to just monitor going forward before your trade deadlines and whatnot. I don't know if you want to flip Tevin Coleman before then, because I don't know. It's just the volume of everybody on the 49ers offense scares me every single week. And I don't necessarily think people are looking at that when you see the bottom line production when they're done.
No, they're not, because it's, hey, look, he got me 35.8 standard fantasy points. Holy shit.
Yeah, who's complaining about that shit? Just me, literally.
Yeah, we're the only assholes that actually are going to complain about it. But, dude, he's played on 50% of the snaps, since he's been back. Like, it's not great.
Yeah, it's not great. And I don't know. It's hard to pick apart, like you said, a 38-point game. But it is what it is at this point. If you deep dive into the stats, like it's not going to happen every single game.
Nope.
So it's something to look at.
That's the job. We got to give people the news that they don't want to hear sometimes. Cut Tevin Coleman, guys. You heard it here first.
Drop him.
Waiver wire. Kyle still let him get picked up by the number 2 waiver priority.
Piece of shit.
Kyle, we love you, buddy, but come on now. Anything else on cool shit for you?
Yeah, I didn't put this, but like Raiders, man, I like what they've been doing. Like they lose Antonio. Imagine if they had Antonio Brown.
I don't like anything the Raiders do.
Are you kidding me, dude? Yeah, I get it. They're in division. Suck it up for the conversation here, Schreck.
I know
what they've been able to do with like literally like
what they shouldn't be able to do.
No possible way they should be able to do what they're doing. Their offense looks great. I like John Gruden a lot as a person. As a coach, not so much last year. He's really proven it this year. I think they're doing a lot of good things.
He has done a lot of good things for that team and that offense. And taking away my Chiefs bias for saying that there's nothing good or to like about the Raiders. It's a bit concerning. In a division where we talk about the Broncos, they're trash. The Chargers, whatever. The Chiefs they have lost a couple games as of late. They're banged up, whatever. The Raiders are starting to put some pieces together that concern me a little bit in a division that the Chiefs should have been able to easily kind of walk away with, I think, this year. And the Raiders are not gonna go away quietly.
Hell no. Yeah, they're hot on the Chiefs' ass, dude. I'd be worried.
I am. I am. I mean, I think the Chiefs' offense for fantasy and real life is in better shape than I thought they would be without Mahomes. Watching them play against the Packers, but I'm still concerned. Our defense is a fucking liability. But that is what it is. That's not for this podcast. That is for the preview.
Agreed.
Vin, let's hit some weak shit really quick for the people. London game of ass. I'm gonna toss this one right into you.
Yeah, so this one was like, you look at it on the surface and you think like the Rams are just going to run roughshod. And like for the most part they did. I think my main concern was, I put a couple of things here, but
yep.
We could throw out the Erickson thing. He's just getting more work than he should. Very odd. Just
makes no fucking sense.
Totally strange. Like, dude, stop. The things that stood out to me most were probably Woods getting out targeted by Josh Reynolds.
Yep.
Completely absurd with fucking Brandon Cooks leaving the game. And then the other thing was, I want to talk about Todd Gurley's usage, like, yet again, because I own him in every single league, and it's just weird. I get what they're doing, but what does saving Todd Gurley do at some point? Like, are they ever going to unleash him? Are they saving him for playoffs? I'm just very confused. Like, they're content with going up a touchdown and then putting in Darrell Williams, Malcolm Brown. It's like getting him rest in games that are close, and yeah, they've won them all, but it's very weird usage, and it's concerning from a fantasy standpoint, obviously, because he's not on the field most of the time, especially when he should be racking up huge yardage in like put the game away mode, and just is not.
It quite frankly makes to me it makes no sense, because as far as I'm concerned, like unless look, is he hurt again? Is the knee like?
See, I don't think he's hurt. I just think.
Do you think
they're preserving him for a means that could not possibly happen? Like they might not make the playoffs.
Yeah, they're not a lock.
It's weird. And then the way the comfort level they have in games where they go up a score is absurd to me. Like how are you not using Gurley more to secure the game? I don't know. It just seems his usage is even more strange than it was in the beginning of the season.
Yeah, and they paid him a shit ton of money. I'm looking at his attempts, right? So he's been – last week was his lowest attempts. Week 4 he had 5, and then it was 14 in week 3. So it was 10, 18, 15, 5, 14 working backwards. So, minus the outlier game of 5, he's been somewhere between 10 and 18 touches. For fantasy, it's really kind of been the touchdowns that have buoyed him, right?
Big time.
Without the touchdowns, he's been 44, 41, 51, 16, 43. Like, without the touchdowns, he's not even fantasy fucking relevant.
Right. And if you're looking at that, like, that's what's really, like you said, kept him afloat. He has, like, top 5 red zone looks, touches, which is definitely keeping him up there as far as points. Again, fickle bitch. That's fickle, man. You can't depend on touchdowns.
No, and so far, if you have, it's worked for the most part. Where you're like, oh fuck, well, I'm okay. At least I walked away with, whatever point total you got. But yeah, you got to be worried. I'm just trying to pull up his. Because I read somewhere something that someone had hypothesized about his knee, but
I think that was either Terrell Davis or it was definitely an ex-running back who's just like, yeah, he has an arthritic knee, and I'm like, they said that.
Yeah, that's not.
We knew it.
Yeah, it may have just been the wording of the way I read that post. Like you said, the arthritic knee is not new. Like that's not something we're, now concerned about all of a sudden.
Yeah, exactly. Like we knew that going in. We knew it was going to be pain management, and he seems to be doing okay.
Otherwise he seems.
Watch him, he's fine. Their offensive line is troubling, but
but Gurley's at least okay. Malcolm Brown injured, obviously. Gurley, where do you stand more in Henderson? I think is the bigger question. Is he a must own? In fantasy because Gurley's kind of being managed, if you will. And Malcolm Brown is banged up.
Yeah, he's definitely a must-own as well. But he's kind of like, I don't know. I think people got overexcited with Malcolm Brown. Like, can we play him? No. Like, earlier in the season, it's like, no. And you can't really play Darrell Henderson unless Gurley goes down or doesn't play a game.
Yeah. If Gurley does prove to be hurt or it turns that way, then we're having a totally different conversation. But right now, there's no indication, like you said, minus the arthritis, it's just as it is.
Yeah. I don't know. I just wanted to vent there because
frustrating own. Frustrating own, and you knew it when you drafted him, as everyone else should have known as well.
Hell yeah.
It's unfortunately you knew the game you were getting into when you did it. Sucks, but the Browns are not good at football.
No, they're not at all. Like it's rough. It's rough.
I think I was reading an article on Pro Football Focus before, and they made a good a good point. When they talk about is it crazy to really say that Landry is almost the better wide receiver here. 504 yards. Odell's 488. Beckham's got 34 receptions. Landry's got 30. Beckham has the touchdown between the two, but yardage-wise, Landry's been the guy more than Odell has.
To a certain extent, you got to understand, like, all the attention goes to Odell.
Of course.
And the fact that Landry isn't having a way better season because he's taking advantage of lesser coverage and less attention is probably somewhat more concerning than Odell having less production.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody really is better than anyone on this team. I think they're all poorly managed. I think Freddie Kitchen sucks ass. I think Baker Mayfield isn't what people wanted him to be, which is fine, or expected him to be, which is totally fine because he's on a bad team. Offensive line is shit. Scheme is awful. So really the only good thing on this team has been Nick Chubb. And he has been killing it. He is
Chubb is unreal, man. It's just
only good thing they have.
Literally the sole bright spot on that entire fucking team.
Yeah,
Nick Chubb. So if you're a Nick Chubb owner, you're fucking happy. But everybody else is. I'm an Odell owner in places, and it sucks. That's hook, line, and sinker.
To just fucking ruin everything. Kareem Hunt comes back in a week.
Yeah, why not? We'll just fucking toss that into the fucking mix.
Yeah, so Nick Chubb might not be, I don't know, maybe splitting carries or something. Who knows what the fuck is going to happen?
Well, that scenario is – so if you're a Nick Chubb owner, Vinny, are you looking at opportunities to get rid of him before your trade deadline with the potential loom here, or are you just – you're fucking riding the train?
I'm riding the train. If you like, I don't know. I picked up Kareem Hunt in a couple leagues just out of fear that he could be something, which is a weird spot to be in because we're getting to kind of crunch time for playoff pushes. He's a great own if you're the Chubb owner, just for like handcuff support. But outside of that, like we don't go on. And I think me throwing like my shot in there is like, this could be something, it could be nothing, but at this point in the season, it's worth a pickup.
It's worth it. We really, because
no idea what's going to happen.
Well, we have no idea. And the waiver wire, let's be honest,
it's terrible.
We really haven't had that guy
Mark Walton has been the best pickup,
which is fucking crazy. There hasn't been a waiver wire move so far this year where it's like whoever gets this guy is fucking he's going to start to build his way out of the fucking basement.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't had it. In comparison to recent years. And of course, OBJ decides to give a pair of cleats made out of goat hair to Brady because he is the GOAT.
That did you see that picture?
Yes.
That was fucking embarrassing. Like it was really like Odell is just fucking lame. Like that was so lame. After getting your ass beat, like giving him shoes made out of goat hair, and then like they got perfectly in the middle of them, Baker Mayfield frowning or just looking in like disgust. And I don't know. I just felt it was so douchey. Like it was just, I had douche chills. It was so bad.
I had
so bad.
Douche chills. That's a fucking t-shirt slogan right there. Yikes. Yeah. Not great. Not well done there.
It was brutal, man. It was just, I don't know. Like it kind of symbolized the entire Browns.
Yes. Well,
season so far.
Yes. Fucking sad. Sad.
Disgust, anguish.
Sad and fucking pathetic. And let's keep with the sad trend here, Vinny. It sounds like you've got some fucking choice words for Pete Carroll.
Yeah, man. He didn't cover the fucking spread. They were beating the shit out of the Falcons, and they definitely pulled up just because, I don't know if you remember this, Schreck, but
hit me. Legion
of Boom leader, Dan Quinn, obviously.
Uh-huh.
Good friends with Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll definitely pulled back. Like, dude, they were fucking them up, and he just let up and let Matt shot the game. And this is more just from a betting perspective. I was just like, they should have covered easily, and kind of weird. I don't know. Like I guess the NFL. Like you should probably beat down your opponent when you can. Totally. And they just totally let up. Let them in. Like they could have possibly come back and won that game. And that would have been a really bad look for the Seahawks. That would have been, it's pathetic. Fuck, it would have been pathetic because they took their foot off the gas and then to lose it. And it wasn't Matt Ryan. It was Matt Schaub. Dude, wild. The Maddies, baby. Bad job. Bad job by Pete Carroll, who I usually love, but fuck him this week. Fuck him this week, dude. And dude, the Falcons are a fucking fourth quarter comeback team, baby. It's what they do. That seems to be undeniable. But the best thing I could glean out of this, Matt Schaub really seemed competent. He wasn't, ruining anybody. Like Julio was afloat. Devonta Freeman kept up with his catches. Hooper catches a touchdown. Yep. Calvin Ridley, 10-plus point game. Everybody keeps moving just like nothing happened. Exactly. It's a beautiful day for fantasy football owners. Then the last thing we have on the outline is the Lions backfield. Waiver wire move. Everyone picks up Ty Johnson, hoping, praying that he could be the guy, he could be the savior, and it was just fucking sad. Dude, how many people got fucked on that? Kyle traded for the fucking guy, and after he should have just fucking owned him to begin with, and then he still fucking fell on his face. It's actually, I thought Blake did. Blake traded for him. Oh boy, I'm sorry, but I just blame Kyle for everything. Don, the king of trades so far in our league, was able to flip him for Larry Fitzgerald. Obviously, it didn't really work since Fitz has kind of been on the slide a little bit. But yeah, not great. still, I mean, Walsh alluded to it. Like, if Kerryon Johnson wasn't the dude, why is Ty Johnson going to be the dude?
Yeah, you're right.
So I don't know. It just not great, not a good own. And I don't know how many auction leagues you're in, but you got to spend a lot of fucking money to pick up guys like that at this point in the season. And a lot of people are just sitting there with their thumb in their ass. Like, what the fuck do I do now?
How many times do the Lions have to fucking do it to everybody? They did it fucking This is the second time now they've fucking done it. The second fucking time. And nobody, it's just, I don't know. Frustrating. Hawkinson fucking did it. He 1 week fucking wonder. And now Ty Johnson.
It's mind numbing, but I get the desperation at this point in the season. Like, you take your shot.
Oh, I don't problem taking the shot. It just sucks.
Yeah, and the thing is, you pick up a guy like that, like, he's got to get in my lineup. He's got to be at least in the flex because you don't know what you have yet.
Correct.
If you miss out on it, it fucks you up mentally. So I understand. But like going forward, this is probably what you expect: just a crazy distribution of the carries, and
he doesn't even need to be owned.
That is, I think he has to be owned.
I don't have a problem if you want to cut him and pick somebody else up.
Who would you pick him up for this week? It's kind of a weird week.
Let me take a look at what I got here on my waiver wire.
Like, I feel like it's a look ahead week or a handcuff week.
Yeah, it's true. You are looking ahead. You are kind of playing the handcuff. I mean,
would you pick up Kareem Hunt?
Yes.
I think I'm on the fence there. I might lean Hunt a little bit.
Just because, especially in that situation, to me, like, the odds of Johnson doing it and then keeping it, right? Like him, because you're not going to put him back in your lineup. So if he produces and he's on your bench, am I going to trust to put him in my lineup, or am I going to say, maybe I should wait another week? And then if he fucking duds, now what do? I'm still fucking holding the bag. If he does it, maybe I lose out on it. We talked about Stafford. I think the Lions continue to do it through the air rather than consistently through one guy on the ground. I think Kareem Hunt at least has the chance, however small it is, of the upside. He may give me fucking zeros for weeks on my bench, but I think he has the better chance of giving me the upside than I'm going to get out of Johnson.
Yeah, completely fair. And then you look at, like, Trey Carson's leading anyway in carries. He's probably a better own. J.D. McKissick probably could get more involved in the passing game because that's his bag.
Yep.
So I kind of turned me. I think he's, you don't really want to own him, which is, it was a weak experiment so far. If you want to hold him, I get it, but I feel like I'm leaning more towards your points.
I mean, again, if you want one more week, that's fine. Like you said, as I'm looking at kind of the options on the wire, like you said, it's a handcuff kind of, or you're planning for the future kind of week. There's no, must have guy, and if there is, you got to be first waiver priority anyway. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, like the Kareem Hunt of the world and all this, like, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. And you could, like you said, wind up in a cycle of chase points, get fucked. Chase points, get fucked.
Yeah, and if you're in a spot where you ended up, odds are, with Ty Johnson, you probably need to win now. So you can't afford to take the chase the points now after he fucked you and get a 2 spot. You just can't.
I'm with you, man.
Anything else on week shit, Vin?
No, it was a decent week. I think I can't really do too much complaining other than what we did.
Yeah, we I think filled enough in there for the people. So let's preview this Thursday game, and I don't think it's going to be a super lengthy preview as far as I'm concerned. 49ers at the Cardinals. 49ers minus 9.5, over under 43. Let's start on the Niners side of the ball. We touched on him earlier. Tevin Coleman can be cut from your team. I mean, obviously, he's a running back one, unquestionably. You've got the great opportunity here. You're playing the fucking Cardinals.
Oh, the matchup is – he could be running back one on the week. Like, no problem.
Yes, you're right.
Matchup is juicy, and I feel like Kyle Shanahan's back into a corner where he has to feed Tevin Coleman.
Yes.
So this is just – you're loving this.
Win all around.
Yes, sir.
Breda, Jeff Wilson, we've kind of got the injuries. Do we expect – we're waiting on Breda. We expect Jeff Wilson to be out, correct?
Jeff Wilson, yeah, that was a scary head neck injury, so I doubt he plays on the short week.
Yep.
Matt Breda, he's kind of always injured, so I'd monitor him. If he goes, you could play him.
Yeah. Yeah, Cardinals are bad.
Yes, like insanely bad. So, yeah, that's a good spot start for me on Thursday. And then Mostert's kind of lingering in the back. He just picked up an injury as well.
Yep.
He gets the least amount of touches out of those three when they're active. I'm sorry, I should say these four just because we're still including Jeff Wilson for the moment. Technically. But, so I think Brady you could play. Mostert probably not. Tevin Coleman could be running back one on the week.
Yeah, that fucking wild. Wide receivers for the 49ers, do you care?
No, man. I don't. I wish I could care about Sanders, but
you can't.
No, dude. Do not trust that first game. You're lucky to catch a touchdown. They don't play enough, and they want to run.
Yep, they fucking on the ground, baby. And their defense is their defense is fucking good. Like, even if they weren't doing this on offense, their defense is going to win them games. So, I think it's Kittle, and it's Kittle and Tevin Coleman.
Kittle is going to destroy.
He should, man. If he doesn't, then fucking woof. The odds are in his favor.
Oh, yeah, it'd be a damn shame, dude. You're going against the Cardinals. They let up the most, maybe of all time, points against tight ends. So.
Dude, we watched Evan Ingram fall flat on his face.
Yeah, he got poked in the eye. It was raining.
I get it. I'm just saying. You know,
he's the outlier.
He's he is the exception to the rule. No questions.
Yeah. Kittle should absolutely shred.
Flip side of the ball, Cardinals. And no Kyler interest here. Bad matchup.
0-0.
David Johnson, Chase Edmonds, we expect to not be with either of them. Most likely, we end up with newly acquired running back Kenyon Drake.
Yeah, and then he's a volume play, but it's weird because he just got there. But Zach Zenner is the only other healthy running back that they have.
I got to think it's Drake. I got to think they roll him as their guy.
I think so too, but like, what is your confidence in plugging him in?
No, there's no faith. I just think he's the guy.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks because I almost didn't want – I was hesitant to say volume play because he just got there. He doesn't even know all the plays, I'm sure. So it's a bit concerning, but I'm also of that mindset. If you were a piece of shit to hold Kenyon Drake for all this long and you won't play him when he's on a different team, which you've been literally holding him only for that.
That's true.
So it's all dependent on your situation. Like, what can I expect from his workload? I don't fucking know. He's definitely the most talented back that they have healthy right now. But short week, just got there. Very concerning. Confidence level is 0. So I'd be scared to roll him out.
Yeah, spin the fucking wheel. And we don't even use that for running backs.
We don't.
As far as wide receivers, Vinny, I think it's a bad matchup. There's no question. But I think Christian Kirk is the only guy I think
you could play Kirk.
I'm interested in. I think that fits. There's no confidence in reliability, and that's all I'm really interested in.
Yeah, I mean, Kirk's probably going to get like his normal stat line of like 8 catches, 12 targets, 60 yards. Probably Great. A 2-point conversion out of nowhere.
Awesome.
Yeah, but like you said, Fitz, I wish you could want to play him, but he's just really been tailing off, and I think we've talked about it all leading up to this. Like, Fitz is an early season dude now, not young anymore, so he's really tailing off at the half point of season. So could this be a sign of things to come? Maybe, but matchup also sucks.
Yeah, it is what it is, and that's going to do it for the Thursday night preview.
Wrap it up. That was great.
In depth, a lot of fantasy value, lots of guys to pick from.
Oh, juicy matchup.
Vinny, why don't we pick this one?
Cool. 49ers, please.
I don't know if I can sweep it. Yeah, I'm gonna sweep it. I'm gonna trust Vinny here. I don't really know much. Cardinals might have a shot, but just kidding. That's it, guys. That's it. We'll get the questions up for you guys on Thursday to send them in for Thursday questions. We're gonna prioritize those that focus on the Thursday night games. Thursday morning, we'll drop part 1 of the fantasy preview. So after you guys have listened to this, buckle in and get ready. That one's coming to you from Walsh and Rogers. They are pumped up, and we know Walsh has always got some goodies up his sleeve for us. So he'll keep us entertained without a doubt.
Boy, does he.
Oof, he is definitely the smartest one in the room, without question. Vinny, you have you've perked up throughout the podcast, so it was a pleasure being here with you, despite some bad Andy Dalton news to kick off the show.
I thought it was perky the whole time, man. A little sad, I guess, to pay homage to Andy.
That's all it was. You gave the respect to Andy that he deserved, and because you love him, you're going to set him free.
Yeah, I just feel like he's just going to get treated like shit by everybody. Like, the dude doesn't suck. Is he great at times? Is he good? Yes. He's definitely a good quarterback. If he has a set around him, good defense, good offensive line, Andy Dalton could take a team to the playoffs.
I feel like you're the girl that just keeps defending her terrible ex-boyfriend. You're like, no, he's not that bad. He's okay. In the right situation, he's good to me.
Yeah, he's good to me when no one's around.
Yeah, just that one time though. The rest of them not so great.
I hope he finds his happiness, man. I do.
That's all we can hope. His happy place in Chicago. Vinny, do you have anything else for the people?
That's it, man. That's it for me.
All right, guys. Well, for Vinny Gonzalez, I'm Nick Schreck. We're with Let's Talk Fantasy Football. We will catch you on the flip side.
This has been Let's Talk Fantasy Football. Thanks for listening.